My name is Lyra Kane, though most people just call me Elsie. I'm part of an organization known as Variety. We're hidden. We don't officially exist. Well, mostly. A handful of trusted groups across the universe know of us, but even they have no idea where we're based. Our home is a place called Scape. You don't stumble across Scape by accident. It has been described time and again as the space between worlds. For those of us who live here, Scape is a sanctuary, a safe haven, untouched by the chaos of the universe. But Scape is more than just our home. It's the center of everything, a hidden nexus that allows us to travel through time and space. Because we can, we choose to help. We protect living species across the universe, saving many from those who seek to harm them, and sometimes even saving them from themselves. This is my story. How an ordinary girl became part of the Variety family. A family that doesn't just save the world, it saves worlds. Going forward, I ask only one thing. Keep an open mind. What you're about to read may seem impossible, but maybe, just maybe, we really do exist. Chapter 1. Echoes of the Past. The mission. The room was lit by soft lighting. It wasn't big, average-sized, large enough to fit around 10 people comfortably. Square in shape, with a single door in and out. The door itself was peculiar, looking more like a glass screen. Lyra Kane, known to most as Elsie, followed a nurse with short blonde hair. Lyra was certain the hair was a wig. She could have sworn she saw it shift when the nurse scratched her head. The woman's skin looked leathery, as though she had spent years baking under a sunbed. When she looked at Lyra, it wasn't a look exactly. It was a glare, unnerving, to say the least. They entered through the screen door. The nurse asked her to take a seat. Lyra looked around suspicious, and chose to remain standing. The nurse raised both eyebrows, turned, and left. As the screen shut behind her, it shifted from clear glass to frosted, obscuring Lyra's view of the hallway beyond. How inconvenient. She'd wanted to see which direction the woman had gone. A knot twisted in Lyra's stomach. She was worried about her mission, her first one alone, and she couldn't afford to fail. It had been almost 4 weeks since her return to Earth, and she felt no closer to completing her task. This was a new room and a new doctor, one who had only recently been transferred to this part of the asylum. Lyra needed to convince him she belonged here, to stay undercover until her work was done. Stick as close to the truth as you can, she reminded herself. You're a terrible liar, plus the truth is insane enough. Glancing around, Lyra noticed a cluster of televisions on one wall, each displaying a peaceful fireplace scene. If you want a fire, why not just have a real one, she thought. Framed photographs lined the walls, mostly family scenes. One picture caught her eye, a child sitting beside an odd animal that resembled a monkey, though something about it felt wrong. Maybe it's a breed I've never seen before, she mused. Another showed a man cradling a creature resembling a fish. Again, not quite right. As Lyra stepped closer to the photograph of the child, she stumbled back in shock. The image moved. The little girl laughed, and the monkey-like animal clambered over her shoulders. Hello? Can you hear me? Lyra called out, heart pounding. No response. The image froze again, but now the monkey sat on the girl's left shoulder instead of the right. Am I imagining things now? She wondered. Her knees felt weak. Needing to sit, Lyra eyed the strange couch and an odd-looking chair nearby. Neither appeared remotely comfortable. The furniture here seemed as alien as the rest of the room. That's why she hadn't sat down earlier. How was one even supposed to sit on these things? A loud hiss came from the door. The screen slid open, and in walked a tall man with short, wavy dark hair. As he approached, Lyra noticed his eyes, brown at first glance, but up close they gleamed green with a strange luminosity. Short stubble dusted his jaw. He was slim but toned, like someone who exercised enough to stay sharp, but not enough to boast about it. A warm flush rushed over Lyra. Shyness rooted her to the spot. Hello, Miss Kane. My name is Dr. James Sparks. How are you feeling today? I'm okay, I think. Do you know why you're here? I do. Everyone thinks I'm crazy. Well, perhaps crazy is a bit harsh. Why don't we start with you reading the statement you wrote when you arrived? I can do that. Lyra cleared her throat. She picked up the small stack of paper in front of her, feeling Dr. Sparks' intense gaze still locked onto her. My birthplace is Earth, and my given name is Lyra Jessica Kane. I was born on the 9th of September, 1984. On Earth, birthdays were once significant and celebrated each year without fail. Little did I know that one day this date would lose all meaning, forgotten down the very long line of time. Lyra, may I call you Lyra? Sparks interrupted gently. For now, you may, yes, she replied, cautious. You mentioned your place of birth as Earth. Why did you feel the need to clarify that? Because that's where I was born, Lyra said, blinking slowly. Are you not listening? I am listening, very carefully, Sparks said, voice calm. You also state that you were born in 1984. You truly believe that's correct? I do. And the date today, what is it? I'm not stupid, she snapped. It's July the 29th, 5034. Sparks leaned back slightly. You must understand how confusing this is. If you were born in 1984, that would make you over 3,000 years old. Correct? Lyra said coolly. To be precise, I'm 3,051 years old. Now, Dr. Sparks, shall I continue reading? Or will you interrupt the entire time? It's my job to ask questions, he said, adjusting his chair. And it's Dr. Sparks, if you please. But go ahead. Lyra returned her eyes to the page. I grew up an ordinary child with an ordinary family. I had a mother and father, a sister, and a brother. My sister's name was Grace. My brother was Jonathan. Our parents were Rose and John. Names are easier to recall than faces. It's been many years since their passing. The memories are there, but the images, blurred, almost abstract. Sparks interrupted again, softer this time. Why do you feel you can no longer see their faces? I just can't. Their images, they've faded over time. Can you describe them at all? I can, Lyra nodded. I remember their features, but it's like a painting left too long in the rain, colors bleeding into each other, distorted. Interesting. Please, continue. Lyra took a breath. As I reached my teens, my body changed. The lumps on my chest were small, nothing like the other girls my age. I was gangly, often mistaken for a boy. My mother's handiwork didn't help. She insisted on cutting my hair herself. Why pay someone for something you can do perfectly well yourself? She'd say. I never had the heart to tell her how much I hated it. Lyra lowered the paper and looked up. Doctor, is this really necessary? It feels a little pointless. I think it's a good way to start, Sparks said. Please, continue. Around this time, I began feeling different. Ordinary life, grow up, get married, have kids, work until you die, felt unbearable. I couldn't stomach the thought of such a future. I decided I would find something bigger, something better. Although it took years, I did find it. She hesitated, letting that sink in. Life got away from me. Before I knew it, I was 35 years old. 2 decades later, and I had become the very thing I had feared. Ordinary. Less than ordinary, a nobody. My only companion was Jasper, my black German shepherd. His breath stank like sewage, and his hair got everywhere. But I loved him. He never judged me, never left my side. Dr. Sparks nodded for her to go on. By then, my body had filled out. I wasn't gangly anymore. My hair had grown long, dark waves down to the middle of my back, no longer hacked into boyish crops by my mother. I wasn't slim, but I wasn't fat either. And for the first time, people noticed me. Lyra smirked slightly. I got attention, even from women. Though I never explored that side, curiosity crossed my mind, as it does with many girls at some point. I had a best friend too, Helen. Everyone called her H. She was everything I wasn't. Loud, stunning, fearless. Blonde hair, blue eyes, perfect skin, a figure that turned heads without trying. Her only flaw, she drank like a fish. First one to pour a drink, last one standing at the end of the night. But she was truly my best friend. Lyra's smile faded a little. One of my greatest regrets was leaving H behind, along with Jasper, when I left Earth. She lowered the paper. Doctor, could I get a glass of water, please? Dr. Sparks stood up, walking towards a wall. He pressed a blue button on the panel. A small silver block emerged from the wall, and he slid a glass underneath. Water poured out smoothly, almost too perfectly, causing Lyra to marvel. Now, that's quite a gadget, she thought. Simple, but impressive. As he walked back toward her, Lyra quickly diverted her gaze, feeling suddenly nervous. There was something about this man, his presence, that unsettled her. He passed her the glass of water. As her fingers brushed against his hand, an electric flutter ran through her, starting in her stomach and spreading to every inch of her body. She couldn't help but glance up. For a moment, their eyes locked, his green eyes, so vivid, so intense. A pause stretched between them, only a few seconds, but it felt like an eternity. Why couldn't she look away? Why did her pulse race every time she met his gaze? Lyra, is everything okay? His voice broke through her thoughts, low and smooth. Concern tinged the words. Her throat felt dry. She cleared it. Yes, she responded quickly. Just really thirsty. Thank you for the water. You're very welcome, Dr. Sparks said, his voice softening. So, let's go back a bit. Can we talk more about your parents? Maybe your brother and sister? Lyra's eyes shifted downward, a slight frown tugging at her lips. There's not really much to say. My parents died in a car crash years ago. My siblings and I lost touch soon after. Surely you must have memories of them. You must have something to say about them. Sparks pressed gently. About your brother or sister? Lyra let out a quiet breath. Well, I suppose my brother John was always my favorite when we were younger. He and I were inseparable, even though he was 2 years older. John could always make me laugh. I followed him everywhere, but as we grew older, we changed. I was still a little girl while he was growing into a man. He started obsessing over girls, and soon I wasn't cool enough to tag along anymore. He became a heartthrob, and though he had his pick of girls, I never understood why he chose the types he did. He could have had anyone. He was funny, good-looking, and yet he went for, well, not the best choices. Sparks nodded, absorbing her words. And your sister? Lyra's voice grew colder. Grace. She was a year younger than me, but we never got along. She was a spoiled brat, always throwing tantrums to get away, and most of the time, that meant getting me in trouble. After the car crash, we had a huge fight right after the funeral. Honestly, I was glad to be rid of her. I left, and I never looked back. Sparks' expression softened. So you moved away after that? Yeah, I moved as far as I could, started fresh, got a job, an apartment. It felt like a new start, and that's when I got Jasper, my German Shepherd. Not long after that, I met H. And for a while, life felt good. I was content. For about 2 years. Her expression darkened slightly, remembering the turn of events. But then on March 3rd, things spiraled. That's when I met Jake. Well, I thought it was the first time. I didn't realize we had met before. Sparks leaned forward slightly. Who's Jake? And why did you say you went down the rabbit hole? What do you mean by that? His voice was full of curiosity, and Lyra could see he was already piecing her past together. But she didn't want to open up about it. Not yet. Lyra, stay with me, please. Sparks' voice was insistent, but he kept his tone controlled, even kind. Lyra snapped out of her thoughts, blinking. What? She looked up at him, a bit disoriented. Oh, I'm here. Just lost in thought. Sorry, I guess I'm feeling a bit tired. We've been in this room for hours. Dr. Sparks' lips pressed together, as if trying to decide whether to push for more answers. Finally, he sighed, his shoulders relaxing. I suppose you're right. We have been here quite a while. Let's pick this up in our next session, shall we? That would be great. Thank you, Lyra said, standing up. She felt a bit deflated, as if a weight had been lifted but replaced with an even heavier one. The mention of Jake was a sharp reminder of why this mission felt so different. Without him by her side, it felt impossible. He had always been her anchor, her guide. This was her first mission alone, and it wasn't going the way she had hoped. Lyra walked out of the room, the door closing behind her with a soft hiss. She paused in the hallway, feeling the weight of loneliness settle into her chest. Jake was always there. How could she possibly